Welcome to Rebirth Podcast. I'm your host, Shay.
And I'm your boy Corey, aka the Thinker.
Yes. Listen, guys, tonight we are so excited. We have the visionary and contributing author of the book, Hold the Line. Every woman has a story. Tune in tonight and listen to these queens tell their story.
Out of the ashes we will soar to a destiny we can't ignore. Heartbeats echo through the night with every dream and endless flight. Together strong, let's break the mold. Our rebirth and stories told. It's time to renew, rebuild, restore. Unlock the dreams we've been waiting for. Rise up higher, more and more. With every breath, a new dawn's roar.
Happy Monday. Welcome to Rebirth Podcast. I'm your host, Shay.
I'm your boy Corey, aka the Thinker.
What's up?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm well. And how are you guys doing? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Rebirth Podcast. Tonight, we have something special for you. So before we get into introducing who our special guest is, how was your weekend?
My weekend was cool, you know. I'm glad we got some consistent weather for a couple of days. And then it dropped to like, I don't know, whatever the degrees was.
Yeah, whatever the degrees is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever the degrees is. Got me sick.
Yeah, you've been kind of fighting a little.
Yeah.
Is it allergies or you've been like sick?
Sick?
Mm-hmm.
It's a little of both. I like to say it's a combination of both. Me being sick and allergies probably. But I ain't had allergies my whole life until...
You moved to Delaware?
No.
Because that's
something about these 40s. You know what I mean? You just wake up with something new.
Well, wait till you hit the 50s.
Don't remind me.
You don't just wake up with something new. You go to bed with something new.
I'll be drinking kombucha every night until I'm 50. But yeah, you know, I'm cool though. I'm good. I'm glad. I'm happy for the spring to finally be here.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So get to this warm weather.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So
yeah. I've been killing it, working outside in the yard. You know me.
Of course you are.
Getting things ready.
You gonna get like a live animal back
in
there?
In the oasis.
Yeah.
No, I'm not having a live animal. No. Other than the rabbits that's already hopping around.
You might have like a baby giraffe or something. Just for the aesthetics.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
How's the workout going? I mean, we had the men of fourth quarter fitness on last week.
Yeah.
They was dropping some dimes.
Yeah, we need to have them back on. But it's going good though. It's going good. Just being consistent, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially that early morning workout is heavy. You know what I mean? But it gets easier when it gets warmer outside and the springtime comes.
Yeah.
Wintertime is cold. You don't feel like getting up and walking outside. But
right.
It's getting easier though. It's getting easier. I'm motivated. I'm into it now. So we locked in. We have a good time. We motivate each other, and
that's good.
Therapy. We talked about the therapy and how that works for all of us last week. So hope to see more of you men come out on Saturdays to enjoy and have a good time with us. So it's fun though. Yeah. But thanks for having us on.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to the Rebirth Live, and you know, we've been kind of going back and forth as to what that's going to look like. We have not set the actual date yet, but it's usually in October when we do our big Rebirth Live. And I think this year we're really gonna focus on doing an all men's panel. I feel that that's my that's kind of where I'm leading to. So what you think about that?
Well, you know I love it.
I know you love it.
I mean, 2026. Build, restore, renew the man. You know what I mean? So we'll have a good time. We'll have a good time. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait. I think it's gonna be important. I think the first time we did that, I don't know which Rebirth Live that was, 2 or 3. 3. We had an all men's.
Yeah, it was the third one.
Yeah. And a lot of people liked it.
Good. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So do you guys have a suggestion as to where we should have it at this year? The last couple years we've had it at Theater Inn, and they did an amazing job with hosting it. I have been looking for another location only because of the parking situation, but have not been successful in finding a location that's going to hold our audience. So I am thinking about taking it back to Theater Inn. So let me know your thoughts of where would you like to see the Rebirth live go to next. Another thought is we do have the option to take it to Philadelphia to City Winery. So my question to you is, would you come? Would you travel to Philadelphia for the Rebirth live?
Of course you would.
Of course you would.
Of course you would. You in Philly for everything else?
I know that's right.
Of course you would. You in Philly for everything else.
That's right.
Right.
So yeah, so let me know. Drop it in the chat. And because I just want to test it out, test the audience out, and see. And then also we got to start preparing for the Rebirth meetup.
Yes, that's always a good time.
The weather is warming up, so we would like to try to do a location outside. Maybe going back to the Chancery. I'm not sure.
That was a nice spot.
Yeah, so we'll see. But we'll keep you guys posted on everything that's coming up that deals with Rebirth.
A lot of work.
A lot of work, but it's worth it.
It's worth it. It is.
It's worth it.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
So tonight, guys, if you have not done so yet, please like, share, and subscribe to tonight's podcast. We have these amazing queens that's coming on tonight, and they're going to be talking about their story, their new book called Hold the Line. Miss Patricia Glasco, she is the visionary behind this book, and contributing author is Miss Catherine Butler. And I'm very excited to talk to these ladies and to really understand how did this come together, and what is it that, what stories are being told in this book. And from what I understand, this is book number 6. So I definitely want to know more about the work that is coming from these ladies and what we can expect from this book. So please help me welcome to the Rebirth stage Miss Patricia Glasco and Miss Catherine Butler. Welcome to Rebirth.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey. How are you? How you doing?
Wonderful.
Good.
A little tired, but good.
Tired, but good.
It's a good tired. I have an allergy attack, but yeah.
Oh, did you?
No.
Yeah. But no, we're fine. We're good.
You're fine. Okay. All right. Well, you guys look beautiful. So
thank you. Right back at you, Queen. Right back at you.
You're still looking beautiful. But that's how we do, right?
Yeah, that's love.
That's how we show up. All right, ladies. So tell us a little bit about yourself. We could start with Miss Patricia here. Tell me a little bit about yourself, and then we'll move to Catherine.
Sure. Well, thank you. I greatly appreciate the invite, Catherine. Thank you for allowing me to tag team with you and pulling me along. Again, my name is Patricia Glasco. I am the visionary of Hold the Line, which was established back in 2020 during COVID. And it was one of those things, God turned my pain into purpose. I didn't know what he was doing. And sometimes even today, I don't know what he's doing, but I trust him, right? And so I'm truly excited about being chosen as the vessel to create space for women of color to be able to come together and tell their stories, right? We often believe that we're the only ones going through something until you find the transparency and the vulnerability to be able to share your story. Then you're like, wait a minute, I'm not the only one going through, right? There's another queen out there who has experienced some things, and maybe we could take this journey together. And so since 2020, we have been journeying along, and I'm so excited for the queens of Volume 6 and their courage to tell their story.
I love that.
Awesome.
I love that. Thank you. All right, Catherine, you're up next.
Hello, everyone. My name is Catherine Butler, and I am a fashion influencer. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a social emotional learning teacher, and just excited to be here and excited to be on the book with Patty to tell my story and to share my story with other authors and share it with the world. So very excited.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us, both of you. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
So we're going to jump in. Corey and I are going to tag team with some questions for you ladies. So our audience could get a chance to know you and what the book is about and the takeaways.
Yes, we are. So first question is for you, Miss Patricia. That's okay?
It is okay.
Is it okay if I call you Patricia?
You can. You can even call me Patty if you want to call me Patty. If Patricia's too much, you can
call you Patty. All right.
Patty.
Yes.
Watch me go right back. All right, Miss Patricia, I'm sorry. So first question for you. So you described stepping out on faith to reveal, release, and restore. Can you walk us through what the process was and what it looked like for you personally, and what did you finally gave you the courage to take the step?
Wow, I can. And so I believe, in all honesty, that this work began in me in October of 2017, to be honest with you. I just didn't really know it at that time, right? And so it wasn't until 2020. And so I'm just going to give you a quick timeline. And so March 9th, I went in for major surgery. March 16th, the world shut down. March 20th, my gynecologist that performed the surgery died. Then June 26th of 2020, my now ex-husband decided to walk out. And, and so going through all of that, I heard God say, hold the line, right? And so I was just processing through like, Lord, I feel like the world shut down and my world is about to blow up or is blowing up right now. And as I was processing through and just trying to figure out which direction I was going in, those three words came to me: reveal, release, and restore. And it was reveal the things that have held you captive for far too long, Patty, because it was during this journey that I had made some decisions as far as leaving my house and sleeping in parking lots, just because didn't want to be in the safety of my home because I didn't feel safe, not because there was any abuse going on, but truly, if he wasn't here, I didn't want to be here, right? And so I'd find myself riding down the highway, sleeping in the parking lot, and I really just needed to process, like, what is that? Like, what is it inside of me that is causing me to do just that, to leave the safety of my home? And so it was reveal the things that have held you captive for far too long, Patty. Put a name to it. They said you can't tame what you don't name, right? And so I had to put a name to it so then I can begin to release it. Because if we don't put a name to it, we just continue to sweep it under the rug, right? And so I was like, I got to release these things so that I can walk on my journey of restoration. And it was also at that time that I asked the question, if I'm feeling these very things, if I'm making these decisions based off of what I'm feeling inside, what's holding me captive, how many other women out there are doing the same thing, right? And so when Hold the Line came about, I just put a call out there and I said, who was ready to tell their story? And so it was right then and there is where I found the courage, the faith, right, to just tell my story and to begin to release those very things that have held me captive for a very long time. I'm 53, will be 54 in June. And it wasn't until 2020 that I started releasing some stuff.
Wow. That's amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Because that's not an easy journey.
No, it's not.
To get on and to start. Yeah. And, unfortunately, as Black queens, we have to support each other more in sharing our stories, because a lot of our stories and the things that we deal with and come from may feel shameful, embarrassing, and we don't want to say anything. We don't want to talk about it. But as soon as you begin to open up, you realize you're not the only one.
Exactly.
There's somebody else that had experienced something like that, right? And that's where the sisterhood really comes into play. My question to you, my question to you, but you really pretty much answered it, was why was it so important for you to build this kind of community? And what impact have you seen from it so far?
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I realized that as I started to process what I was going through, something said I wasn't the only one, right? Something said there are other women out there that I believe are experiencing, if not the same thing, something very similar, right? And so literally when I say I put a call out, I just went on social media and I just put a call out there, who is ready to tell their story? And we had a number of women come on and come on, the live, and then inbox me in a whole nine. And these are women I didn't even know, right? As far as Las Vegas, we have women from North Carolina. I didn't know them from a can of paint, right? But when you begin to open up and share, we women, queens, we love to talk, right? And so once you get us started, we will open up. We will.
Yeah.
That's just, it was like we were just waiting for the platform. We were just waiting for the open door. We were just waiting for the safe space to be able to come together and just begin to release.
Yeah.
Right. And it has been a beautiful, beautiful journey. And you've already said it. We started to see, wow, I wasn't the only one that went through that. Right. And we started asking each other questions. How did you deal with it? Right. Like when you were knee deep in that stuff, how did you get up every morning?
Yep.
Right. What did your support system look like? Right. When you wanted to run, who did you turn to? Right. Even when you couldn't drop on your knees and pray, what did that look like for you?
Yeah.
And so to be able to create that space has just been a beautiful journey. And I'll never understand why God chose me. However, I'm grateful. However, I often question it, and I probably need to stop doing that and just say, Lord, I thank you.
Yes.
That's probably time. It's probably time.
I look at stuff like that as, he chose you because you would be willing to, do it. You had the courage to do it. Even when you thought you didn't have the courage, you were able to do it. Right. So, I love that.
Yeah. I would also say it's awesome that you feel like you can do it at any age, right? Because like so often we feel like once we get past a certain point, ain't nobody listening to us, or the audience is young in terms of social media or people being willing to talk. But I think you doing that, encouraging women of all ages, regardless of what your issue is or your concern is, it also is a teach back and a reach back for the younger folks to say, hey, learn from me, right? This happened, right? So congratulations on that. That was my congratulations. And I got a question. Because we can't shut up either. You know what I mean? So my question for you is, you mentioned that God turned your pain into purpose. Can you share a moment in your journey when that shift became real for you? And when did you realize you were meant to help others?
Yeah. So I'm going to be honest. It was right in 2020, knee deep, in this. And again, if I think back to October 2017, God gave me 4 words even at that time, and it was pause, process, pray, and proceed. I am a woman. I am a Gemini. I am a very emotional creature, right? And so my emotions used to take me all over the place. And when he gave me those 4 P's, he said, Patty, pause and catch your breath. He said, process and put your mind at rest. He said, pray knowing I will hear your cry. Then I want you to proceed in faith, thanking me for my mercy and grace. Now it took me a long time to be able to apply those 4 P's in my life, but I now know what they mean, right? I now know how to apply it. I'm not perfect at it, not yet. However, I am purposeful and intentional around applying those to my life. But it was really in 2020, and probably when I seen the other women show up, right? I stepped out, yes, I won't take that away from the courage God gave me to do it. However, it was being able to link arms with other women who were willing to show up as well and tell their story. And it's a beautiful thing. When women come together, I ain't taking anything away from you men, nothing at all, but I'm not a man, right? Yeah. I am a woman. And so I can only speak on women. When we come together and when we link arms, there is no stopping us. And so it was at that point where other women started showing up. I was like, all right, let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use your piece. I like that.
Okay.
Pause, process, pray
and proceed. Yes.
Because I'm in a space in my life where I need to use these, right?
Yes.
So thank you for that, sis. Thank you for
no
that.
Problem. No problem at all.
That's a t-shirt.
Yeah. It is a t-shirt. There you
go. Yes. Yes.
All right, Patty. So the last question I have for you,
yes,
for the women that are listening, right? The women that are listening right now, who are still holding on to things that she's been afraid to let go, things that she's been afraid to confront, afraid to release. What would you say to encourage her being her own journey toward healing and freedom?
Yes. So I want to just offer some clarity right from the door. And that is, your story doesn't have to land on the pages of Hold the Line, right? Because we start to think, oh, I didn't want to be an author. I don't want to be an author. I don't want the whole world to know my story. So I just want there to be some clarity right here in that becoming an author is just the cherry on top, right? If you don't want to be an author, if you don't want your story to be in a book, that's okay. That's okay. But you got to be able to reveal those things that have held you captive for far too long. Because there's a work that God has called us women to do, and we can't do it allowing ourselves to continue to remain in bondage from our past, right? And there's some things that we may be going through right now. So I'm going to say even the present challenges, right? And I'm not saying you got to go to the mountaintop and share it, shout it to the world either. What I am saying, though, is I believe wholeheartedly, put a name to those things. Yeah. Let's stop running from it. Let's stop sweeping it under the rug, right? Find your safe space. If it's one person or if it's a group of women, find that safe space so you can begin to reveal and then release those things that you have put a name to, so that you can begin to walk on your journey or walk in your journey of restoration. It's important. And guess what? There's another queen out there that needs to hear your story.
Absolutely.
We also share that it is our prayer. This isn't mine. I done heard it from somewhere else, but I believe it. And that is, your story can be another queen's survival guide. Right? So while you're going through your own healing, there's somebody else that's out there that needs to hear your story. They need to know they're not alone. Right?
Yep, absolutely.
So not only for your own healing, but if it helps to know there's somebody else out there that needs to hear your story, do it for them.
Yeah. Thank you, Stat. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
That was part of what I was going to also say is, like, some folks don't also want the responsibility. Once I put it out there, I have a responsibility of either keep telling it, people asking me questions, they're going to start turning their own pages. So tell me more about and who was he and where did you, right? And you don't want to do that. But I think to your point, though, our stories, men included, right? There's a responsibility that we do have to tell our story, to release it off of us. And allow God to do the rest, right? And he'll bring the rest of the folks along and help them through their journey. So our responsibility is just proceed. I think it was one of the P's.
Yes, it was. It's
the
last
I got it. Look at that.
Process, yes.
And then just sit down and just listen to the queens talk.
That's it right there.
Yes.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
So this amazing lady that's I'm ready to talk to. She first of all, I have to say she's been a supporter for Rebirth. She would come, Patty. She would come to my she would come to the Rebirth lives or the Rebirth meetup, and she always stood out to me.
Oh wow!
Always stood out to me, and I'm like, not just with how beautiful she is, and how she always fly, and I'm like,
always, yes.
Woman, this lady is always fly. She is always on point. But then when I got a chance to when we talk and I got a chance to just talk to her, I also saw that she had a good spirit as well about her. And then now recently having the pleasure and honor to read her story.
Yes.
I see why she stood out for me.
Yes.
I see why she's special. So Miss Catherine Butler, can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself, love?
Oh my goodness, I don't know where to start. That's so broad. A little bit about myself. Like I said, you guys are funny. Thank you guys for having me. Like I said, I'm a fashion influencer, a social emotional learning teacher. I'm an entrepreneur and a lover of life. So I'm just here and sharing,
Okay. You got the first question?
I do, but I appreciate you. I think you answered one of my chapters about my health journey, like working out and stuff like that. So thank you for encouraging me too.
Oh, yes. So awesome.
Yeah, for sure. So first question is, so your story begins with so many unknowns being found, not knowing who discovered you and searching for your own beginnings. How did growing up without those answers shape your sense of identity as a woman?
Shape my identity as a woman. I think it's still shaped. I don't know. I could say that it made things lonely at one point. Things were lonely. Things were not clear. Growing up that way, feeling like I didn't have an identity. When the whole time I did have an identity. So I had to come to the resolution of there was an identity through all of this. So I think growing up as a woman, I grew up a little bit lonely and a little bit confused with all of that happening to me so young, because I didn't really have parents to go to grieve. Well, of course I didn't have parents to grieve, but I didn't have any adults to grieve to. I was just a minor searching for love, and that's all I knew.
And just to put some context behind that, because Catherine was found in an abandoned building at age 2 in Brooklyn. And so that's where her story begins in this chapter. So talking about origin and identity, and I love the fact that you said thinking that you didn't have an identity, but realizing you had an identity the whole time, right? Yeah, the whole time. So Catherine, the power of your name. When you discovered that your biological mother named you Catherine, it clearly meant something profound to you. So can you talk a little bit about that moment and how it shifted the way you saw yourself and your story? Because I know in your chapter, you talked a lot about your name, Catherine, Kathy, Kit Kat, the different names that people will call you. And you've landed on Catherine, and you found out that your biological mother is the one that actually gave you that name.
Yes.
Yeah. So can you talk a little bit about how that shifted the way you saw yourself and your story?
I think when I found out, when I received a letter from Spence Chapin Adoption Agency, they sent me a letter of the history of my mother or whatever, all the information that they knew. So when they sent me that letter and I read that, of course I cried. I I felt proud. I felt powerful because with the name, I've always felt powerful. And I felt, you ever feel something about something, but you don't really know what it is, and then someone tells you and you're like, wow. So I felt powerful with the name. I felt prestigious with the name. I felt pure, and the name one of the meanings of Catherine is pure, and I felt that, but my life didn't line up with the name. You know what I mean? So you know, found in an abandoned building, but I'm pure. Like, what's going on, God? You know what I mean? Or how am I here by myself? You know, so I think it answered, even without having my mother here, it answered questions that I had, you know, because she particularly named me. I wasn't like an afterthought. You know what I mean?
That's good.
Yeah. Just to kind of piggyback to that, right? So you said that you got her story was sent to you. Is that accurate? Is that what you were just understanding?
Yes, she sent me a letter.
Okay. Was that the first time you saw your mother's name on a piece of paper, or period, or how did that work?
So her name isn't in. They don't give you their names. They'll just tell you, like, the female born in 1950 something, and they'll tell you how many other children they have. I went to the New York Public Library and looked up my original birth certificate, because that's public record. So on your original birth certificate, you'll see your adopted mother's name and or your father's name if they put it on there. My father's name was never on my birth certificate, but her name was on there.
Now, the reason why I asked that, because I met my birth mom at 40.
Wow.
Right? So I submitted for the information to come to me as well. They sent me my original birth certificate. The first time I saw my mother's name at 40 years old was on my birth certificate.
Wow.
Right? So I remember walking back from the mailbox, going back to the house, and I'm just like quiet.
Yeah.
Right? Now, mind you, I had heard her name before, and I had scrolled past her picture 4 or 5 times on Facebook, not knowing that was her.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Right? Somebody said her name, and I'm like, all right, well, let me just look her up, right? Like, because everybody's on Facebook, right? Especially that age. So, like, I'm looking. Sorry, Mom. So I'm looking, and I didn't know that was her, right? So I'm just, right? So then you get the name, and I'm connecting the dots, and I remember walking back, and I was just quiet, right? And I just kind of sat it down, I folded it up, put it in the drawer, took it back out, looked at it again. So the reason why I asked that question, because similar, right? You tell your story and it resonates to multiple people, right? So I can identify what that must have felt like for you. Just kind of even going through the journey and the expectation of going to the library and searching and waiting, because similar COVID, right? So it took forever to get it. Like, I forgot I submitted for it, right? Like 9 weeks later, I'm like, okay, well, where did this come from? And then boom, one day I just walked to the mailbox and there it was. So hats off to you on that. So I kind of, that resonated with me too.
Oh, thank you for sharing.
Absolutely. So question, sorry. By the age of 9, you experienced multiple losses that many adults struggle to process. How did you learn to carry that level of grief, and what does the resilience look like for you today?
So I can't even sit here and say, well, you know, this is what resilience looks like. Resilience looks like Jesus. Resilience looks like God. Like, I would not have been able to survive. I can't even explain to you how I'm here other than God and Jesus. Being able, because I watched with my own very 2 eyes, my mother die of a massive heart attack, being 7 years old. And then my father died 2 years later in the hospital of kidney failure. So having that trauma 2 years apart is really intense for someone so young. But I wish I had something more to say as far as my resilience, but it's it's only God that makes me resilient like this. Like I can't take the credit for it because it wouldn't be fair. I would be lying.
Well, I think that's the answer. Right? That's the answer.
Absolutely.
That's the answer. It is God. You know, you don't. People don't know that until you. I don't want to say until you go through something, but He will make it so you only have to talk to Him.
Yeah.
Sometimes, right? And where else are you going to go with that story that somebody understands? You know.
And I know I hate trying to quote scripture because I get them mixed up, but there's passages in the Bible where He talks about, you know, even if you're parentless, I'll be your parent. You know what I mean? Like He's not gonna have you here by yourself, even though it seems like you're here by yourself. So He guided me along the way. Every journey, He slipped somebody in there, or He was there. You know what I mean? But it was like a strategic setup.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Sure. It just reminds me, you know, that He never said we weren't gonna go through things in life.
Right.
He said He will walk through them with us. He'll be there with us, but He didn't say you ain't gonna go through things. You know.
Right.
So your whole journey, God's been walking beside you. You know, just guiding you and putting the right people in your life. Just divine placement. So in your chapter, you beautifully describe, you know, the people who stepped in, your godmom, your mentors, your friends. You talked about Ebony. Hey, shout out to Ebony. I had her on here. I got to get her back on. But you talked about these people, and as part of God's provision, how did those relationships help redefine what family means to you?
It taught me that family isn't just someone who's related to you or your blood. Like family can be friends, family can be teachers, mentors, next door neighbors, your girlfriends that you meet in school, family. You know, it's relationships that grow, but they grow and they don't have to be related to you biologically for them to be your family. And I've mentioned her in the book, Sharon Bryant. She wasn't even my guidance counselor. She was just a guidance counselor at my school in the 9th grade. I made her my guidance counselor, but I've known her since the 9th grade. I'm 50 years old now and she's 70. And we are as close as can be from that relationship that God put in my life that I'm so thankful for.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That's awesome. Last question for you. There was a time when you said you didn't want to live anymore, yet today you're here sharing your story. What shifted in you, and what did you hope readers take away from your purpose healing that choose for them to keep going?
Jesus shifted for me. God shifted for me. Me not wanting to be here, He had another plan for me. I know the Bible says that your thoughts that I have for you are of an expected end. So He is of good and of good. The thoughts that He has for me is of good and not to harm me, and it's of an expected end. So that's what He did in my life. So whether I felt like I didn't want to be here anymore, He had other plans for me. And those thoughts were lies of the enemy. And they weren't clean thoughts. They weren't good thoughts. They weren't thoughts that should have been with me. They were just thoughts, and that's all they were. And as you can see, nothing came of that because I'm here today to share my story.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Thank God. Yes, you are. You know, I always like to leave our audience with something. So if your story could reach one person who feels forgotten, abandoned, or is just simply questioning their worth, what would you want them to hear tonight? And this question will be the closing question for both of you ladies. Catherine, you can answer, and then Patricia, you can answer. And I'll repeat that again. If your story could reach one person tonight who feels forgotten, abandoned. They could be questioning their worth. What would you want them to hear and hold on to tonight?
I would say I want them to hold on to God. And they may not even know who that is. They may not even know God. So it's easy to say believe in God and hold on to God and trust Him, but they may not even know Him. But if they can just, seek Him, try to figure out who this person is, because that's who carried me through my journey. That's who's carrying me now. That's who sustained me, and they're not alone. So though horrible things may happen to you, or things that you may physically seem alone and you don't have a support system, but you're still not alone. And God has provision for you. He has a plan for you. So my thing would just be to trust and know that you're not alone and you are loved and God loves you.
Yes. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Patricia?
Yes. And I just want to say, if it's okay, Catherine, I'm so proud of you. So excited for you and the journey God has you on. And so I will piggyback off what Catherine has said. You are not alone, right? And just know that there is purpose in your pain. And while God is the ultimate supporter, supplier, and all those things, what I want to be able to say is, if you stretch forth your hand, I will stretch back. And I'm sure there's a number of queens out there that will stretch back as well.
Yes.
But if you stretch forth your hand, I will stretch back and grab hold, support you however I can, journey with you however I can, because you are not alone. You weren't only called, you were chosen. So Queen, don't give up.
Yes.
We're here for you.
That is so good.
Yes.
Oh gosh, this done did something to my heart, my spirit, everything. Y'all got me filled up over here. What a beautiful conversation. I cannot wait to get my hands on the book.
Yes.
I can't wait to get, I'm looking at my assistant. I can't wait to get my hands on the book so she can link up with you before I leave to go away. Ladies,
yes,
thank you. This was a powerful interview. And I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I can't wait to hear the rest of the stories.
Yes.
How can people get the book?
Yes. And so again, they can log on to Amazon. And if they just type in my name, Patricia Glasco, because I'm going to tell you, you type in Hold the Line, there's a 10 million Hold the Lines out there. And so the easiest way to do it is to type in my name, Patricia Glasco, just the way that it's spelled right here. And you could do that on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. However, the quickest way, and as much as we want to see the book climb on Amazon, I would also say just reach out to a queen, reach out to Catherine right now and let her know that you want a book. She has books. She'll always have books. She'll be able to order those and have them in her possession at any time. And so if you know any other queens, you can go through them as well. So either online or reach out to a queen or myself, and we'll make sure to put a book in your hand.
Awesome. Ladies, thank you so much. Corey, did you have any?
Thank you for allowing me to sit in.
Corey, we look forward to your story in the next men's
edition. That's right.
Hit me up. I got you.
Yeah,
for sure. But I appreciate your journey. One thing you did share is that when women come together, Black women come together, nobody can stop you. But also, I would say, from a Black man perspective, when Black women come together, we're inspired as well, right? So continue to do what you're doing. Continue to inspire yourselves, your community, but you're also inspiring us for us to wrap our hands around you as your story wraps your hands around us. So keep going. I appreciate y'all, and thank you for allowing me for the interview for sure.
Yeah. Thank you, ladies.
All right. Thank you.
Love you guys. And I look forward to talking to you guys more. If you're I'm able to be around, I want to come and support and whatever.
Likewise.
So just keep me posted, okay?
All right. Thank you.
All right. Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
Oh man, what a beautiful journey, that these ladies are on, sharing their stories. And it is so important that we do that, because you never know what the person is going through. A lot of us have grown up in households and have ancestors where it was just like, we don't share certain things. What's said and done in this house stays in this house. And I just imagine if though their stories were shared, right? Think about your grandmom, your nana, your me mom, whatever you called her, or your great grandmom or your aunties. How would your life have changed if they would have shared some of the things that they have experienced, that they had to go through, some of the things that they had to pray through? What could we had avoided, number one, and what could we have learned from those situations? So it's important.
It is.
Storytelling is important, and I love it. And I love it. So any closing remarks for you?
No, I just, everything that you just kind of just said, but I think, one of the things, the walk away for me is tell your story.
Yeah.
Right. Share your story with someone. Whether it's the big platform that you want to do it on or smaller, because it's definitely going to help somebody and save somebody from making some of the similar mistakes, or inspire somebody to do something.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely. So we have, Mother's Day is going to be coming up, guys, and I have an interview with my mother, as I do every year. So I'll be sharing that with you guys, and we got to see if Corey would like to do a little something with his mom as well.
Oh shoot!
I guess he can.
He might be
Mama
cooking
G.
something up.
Mama
Let
G.
me find out.
Yeah,
Let me
get
find
Mama
out.
G on here.
Let me find out.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
So thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Rebirth Podcast. Again, please, if you want to support us, just simply go to YouTube and subscribe, or follow us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, or Apple. That's all we want. Yep. That's all. That's it.
Click.
That's it. Yes. Thank you again. And until next week, have a blessed week. God bless.